Monster is really an interesting title in the world of power. It could mean so many different things and relate to so many different moments and so many different characters. So in this video I'm talking all about Kane and Tommy, what it could mean for them, and Tariq as well. So welcome back to MovieBot and let's talk about episode 9, Monster.
I'm gonna shoot your mom in the face with my dick. What was that? I'm gonna...
Knew that shit would work. Guess I lost that bet. Nah.
So hope you're all doing great, and what do you guys think about me putting in some throwback scenes at the start of my videos? Is that something you guys like? Because in the comment section yesterday I got some good responses about Julio. But anyway, over the last 2 days I've been talking about these episode titles that they've released in the last half of the season, and I focused heavily on 6, 7 and 8 in my video on Sunday, and episode 10 yesterday, which is titled Heart of Darkness. So I'll link them videos down below in the description and in the comment section. And I wanted to dive deep into the title of Monster, what it could mean, who it could be relating to, and what it could mean for certain characters in Power Book 2 Ghost. But if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button. But let's talk about episode 9, Monster, and it could relate to a lot of characters on Power. But I want to start by talking about Tariq, because the books that Tariq has been reading describes himself. You'll notice that when I do my review and recaps of the episodes, I heavily center them around the book that they relates to and the title of that episode. For example, The Prince. Tariq's description of the Prince shows that people get what they want in the most efficient way. People are always going to want your spot, and the Prince shows that no matter how much power or money a person may have, they're still going to want to come for your neck regardless. And it's better to address your competition head on rather than wait for them to storm the castle. Tariq is no doubt on the top of his castle and his empire that he's built, but no doubt at some point Tariq, he needs to experience pain and hurt to really unleash his inner ghost. And he will at some point feel this pain and hurt. Tommy did it with Holly and Lakeisha, Ghost did it with Angela, and I referenced Tariq and whether he was a real killer in yesterday's video, and he is a real killer. He killed Ray Ray, he killed Ghost, and he also set Kanan up. Tariq is a real killer, but he can actually go one step further and actually turn into a monster, and the turning point for his character for him to actually turn into a monster could actually be the death of Tasha. No doubt at some point Tariq will have to face consequences for what he's done as well, but in my opinion I feel this is a long way away, and Monster may be referencing to Tommy or Kane or even someone else like Brayden. I'll come to all of that in just a moment, because I don't think we'll just see one monster in episode 9. Could this really reveal a lot about Tariq's character and how he could turn into a monster if he's tasked with doing something that he doesn't want to do, similarly with the way Ghost had to do with Breeze? And Lonel made a good point about Frankenstein and his correlation to Monster. Why does Frankenstein create a monster? He believed by creating this monster he can discover the secrets of life and death. He wants to achieve something great, even if it comes at a great cost, and he gave several accounts of where his ambition comes from. And Frankenstein is desperate to renew life because he is still grieving for his mother, because she dies shortly before he starts to study science. So who does this remind you of? Now everything I spoke about Frankenstein and the correlation to Monster also relates to Tariq St. Patrick, because he wants to achieve something great even if it comes at a great cost, for example killing Ghost, and Frankenstein was desperate to renew his life because of his grieving mother. So could we see Tariq St. Patrick take that story and turn into this monster in episode 9 if Tasha was to be killed? And in my opinion Tariq, he really needs something like this because he loves Tasha. If he finally accomplishes everything he's worked so hard for all season long in trying to get Tasha out of prison, and when Tasha finally smells freedom only to have it taken away by Tommy Egan cancelling Christmas in front of Tariq's very own eyes, and she dies in his arms, Tariq really will feel the pain Ghost did with Angela while Angela died in his arms. Tommy felt with the pain with Holly just as she died in his arms, and Tariq, he just might turn into this monster. We may see a frightening version of Tariq St. Patrick sooner rather than later, and if Tommy does kill Tasha, then I really hope Tommy and Tariq don't come face to face in Power Book 2, because I want them to leave the storyline unfinished. I want them to finish it in Power Book 4 Force many years later, and it keeps the suspense as well as giving Tariq time for his character to build and turn into an absolute fucking monster before he meets Tommy Egan again. Now I don't just believe Monster is related to one person such as Tariq or Tommy Egan, and I'm going to talk about Tommy in just a moment, but Kanan did say you're not a real killer until you kill someone you love. And I think this is going to be a must-watch episode because it could really reveal the inside Monster in a few characters. For example, could Brayden be the one to put his own brother in a coffin? It looks like Brayden's sister or relative of Brayden will be in the last half of the season for 2 episodes, so could she be in the show for a funeral? Could Brayden release his inner monster in episode 9 as well as Tariq? Or what about, for example, Cooper Saxe killing someone like Tamika to stop her from testifying? Monster could be related to so many other people, because I don't believe Monster will be related to just one storyline. And Tim Rollins in the comment section also made reference to Jacob Banks' song, his song Monster, which was actually the song that was played in the very first episode in the opening minutes of Power Book 2 Ghost, and it was also the soundtrack that was played when Ghost entered prison in season 4 and the end credits. So I'm just going to play that short clip for you now. So that's just a little connection for you, and the song Monster has been around for a while, and ironically the title of the episode is Monster. But let's talk about Tommy Egan, because he is also another monster. He killed 30 across the original Power series, and that's not counting the murders or the bodies that he was involved in. And I've been speaking about Tommy Egan and how he could come back at the end of episode 9, and he really is the true definition of monster. And JA made a very good point in how Vincent referred to Tommy as a monster in season 5 episode 10 after he killed Tony Teresi, and the gun that Tariq got from one of Tommy and Ghost's old dead drops. Don't forget, we still have to see the fallout from this. Tariq has to realize that this gun is missing, and I really hope they don't just skip something like this, because if this is indeed Tommy Egan's gun, and I made reference to it in this video, if it is indeed Tommy's, then I wouldn't be surprised if Monet's ran the bodies connected to the gun through Ramirez, and could this all then connect the dots to Tommy Egan returning? And well, this is one picture that was released on Instagram by Tommy, and it's such a tease. It really is, because imagine Tommy and Kane actually teaming up, and I made reference to it a few weeks ago in a video that I made. I would love to see Tommy Egan and Kane team up, because they are characters that do actually have similar traits, and I can see Tommy treating Kane with a little bit more respect than Monet and Lorenzo do, because there's no doubt that Kane is treated differently by them. And well, Kane and Tommy have one thing in common: Tariq isn't in either of their good books, and at this moment in time, how they could meet is anyone's guess, but that gun could well play a part if Monet does run the bodies that was connected to it, because if she finds Tony Teresi's link to the murder, then it could open up a whole kind of worms. And as I said before, I really hope they don't kind of just forget about this, because Tariq, he really needs to some point notice his gun was either stolen or is missing. And episode 8 is titled Family First, and I think this episode will reference to everyone's family. Everyone's loyalty will come into question. For example, Brayden with his brother, Riley and Sax, Tariq and Tasha, Sax and his family, and most importantly of them all, Kane, Monet and the Tejadas, because there's no doubt there is going to be a turning point and Kane will rebel. I've made reference to it before in a few of my previous videos. And what if he was actually to rebel to the point of no return for Monet and the Tejadas? Where's left for him to go? What's left for Kane if he screws something up with the Tejada organization, and for example he gets someone killed or he kills someone? Monet's had enough of him. Could we actually see him head off to LA with Tommy? So it's just something I wanted to throw out there, because as I said before, it would leave the storyline between Kane and Tariq unfinished, Tariq and Tommy unfinished, and it actually would set it up nicely for Tariq to eventually go to book 4. But anyway, I've been listening to Jacob Banks' Monster all day. I can't get it out of my head, and I guarantee you some of you won't be able to now either. And as I said, I'm hyped for Power's return. Only 5 days left. The countdown is now well and truly on. We are so close to this final half of the season. It's going to be crazy with a lot of twists and turns. So let me know what you guys think about Monster. No doubt it could be referencing to Tommy, but the episode is an hour long. He won't be the only monster if he is returning, that is. So let me know what your thoughts are about Monster, Tommy Egan or not. Let me know what your thoughts are about the other characters turning into monsters as well. Drop me your thoughts and comments down below in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel, then remember to smash the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.